More breaking news this morning. Tony Bennett, one of the most beloved American singers, has died. And what an incredible career. The 96-year-old dominated the music and entertainment industry for 7 decades. According to his publicist, Bennett died earlier today in his hometown of New York City. NBC's Morgan Radford has more on his life and legacy.
Oh, the good life.
Tony Bennett.
I found you just in time.
The great singer of the Great American Songbook.
The way you look tonight.
His music defining a generation with shiny tuxedos, big bands, and smoky jazz joints.
I know I'd go from rags to riches.
But before he was Tony, he was Anthony Dominic Benedetto, a child of the Great Depression, born and raised by a single mother in Queens, New York.
When I was 10 years old, they said, "We love the way you paint and we love the way you sing." And so I said, that's who I am.
He dropped out of high school to support his family at age 16 and was later drafted by the Army, serving in World War II.
I decided that when I get out of the Army, I'm going to go into show business.
He got his big break in 1949 when entertainer Bob Hope saw him singing in a New York City club and hired him with one suggestion, that he change his name to Tony Bennett.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't that be fine?
A star was born.
San Francisco.
In 1962, Bennett topped the charts with his hit I Left My Heart in San Francisco, winning his first of many Grammys.
As I approach the prime of my life.
As his career skyrocketed, he also became an activist in the civil rights movement while developing his other love, painting.
When you get lucky enough to nail one painting that really looks good, it's really a quiet celebration.
But there was a dark underbelly to his success. Bennett developed a drug addiction in the 1970s and took a 10-year hiatus. He made a comeback in the 80s, becoming a favorite of the MTV generation.
What do you say we do one for the MTV crowd?
Bennett married 3 times and raised 4 children. In 2007, he tied the knot with Susan Crowe after the two dated for decades. Meanwhile, his popularity continued to surge in the 2000s when he recorded duets with megastars like Paul McCartney,
the very thought of you,
Elton John,
my fate is up to you,
and Lady Gaga.
That's why a lady is a tramp. My whole life I love what I do.
In 2021, the singer revealed his Alzheimer's diagnosis and announced both a final album and concert with Lady Gaga to mark his 95th birthday.
Yet I get a kick out of you.
A final farewell, but a lasting legacy.
What a life! I'm in love.
Morgan Radford, NBC News, New York.
Just an extraordinary life and career. What a voice we got to hear in that piece. I'm going to bring in NBC News entertainment contributor Chris Witherspoon now. And Chris, Morgan talked about how he was able to keep going really up until these final years in his life, most recently collaborating with Lady Gaga. Tell us more about their partnership and what made them such a great match and made him so timeless.
Listen, I think timeless is the perfect word, and that package was just so beautiful. It really encapsulated his legacy. And to think about artists like Lady Gaga, who are at the pinnacle of their careers, collaborating with someone who is decades and decades older than them, but being very candid about the influence. She talked a lot about how Tony Bennett is the reason why she wanted to go into singing. And also Lady Gaga has been very transparent and open about her battle with drug addiction and drug abuse back when she was dealing with the pressures of being famous in Hollywood. And she said doing that album in 2021, Love for Sale with Tony Bennett, is the reason that really she was able to keep on living and keep on wanting to be in this industry. I think that's the testament of whenever you are an iconic singer, when you have these younger artists who are pulling from your blueprint of artistry, but also just how you lived life and how you showed up as an artist.
It's amazing to think he was still having #1 albums on the Billboard charts well into his late 80s. Again, just a really long, enduring career, a life that had so much depth. Thank you so much, Chris Witherspoon, for discussing briefly with us his life and legacy. You're going to be back with us later this hour to talk about Barbenheimer. But again, our thoughts go out to Tony Bennett's family. He was 96 years old. When we